to my studio. We are continuing on with the Just Junk 5x5 journal, and today we're going to talk doodles. If you haven't been following along with this series, there is a link in the drop down box below that will take you to the main page of the playlist so that you can do this in order. And we are going to start with decorating some pages a little bit with some doodles. Going to move on to some binding and embellishing and be done with this book. So I want to show you one thing I did do off camera that I did not mention in the signature part of the series is we had these 9 blank pages like this. I divided them out and I took 4 of them and I left them blank, and I took 5 of them and I just went to my sewing machine using a zigzag and a straight stitch and did random sewing on each side of the page of 5 of these. No particular order, no particular pattern, just to give some interest and texture to some of the pages. And then I left some of them blank. So now we're going to talk doodles. I've pulled in our pages that we kind of whitewashed over, our book pages. I have pulled in the handmade paper pages that were made out of the dryer sheets and napkins. I've pulled in our folded envelopes, our bags, our floating pockets here that are made out of the coffee filters and book pages. And I've also pulled in the tissue box sections that are signatures in themselves. And I want to talk doodles. I'm doing this journal with the premise that whoever is making this either is maybe new to junk journaling, would like to learn how to make a true junk journal. You don't feel like you mess up if you use these kind of supplies that are left over in your house than if you go and buy all the papers and things like that. This is a great practice exercise to get going on your junk journal journey. And also, I'm doing this like, say it is someone who doesn't want to spend a lot of money or you don't have a lot of supplies. This is a way you can do it. So you could certainly go in and use rubber stamps. If you have stamps and you want to stamp images on some of your pages, do that. But I'm going to walk you through some really simple doodles, and since this is kind of a nature theme, they will be more of a nature look to them, but that can enhance your page without having to have a lot of drawing skills. So all I've got here is a piece of the cardboard that I wished, a little bit of white paint on, and I have a Sharpie fine tip black marker, just a Sharpie pen. Nothing fancy. You can get these in almost any store, big box store, dollar store, something like that. I like the Sharpie because it's permanent. That was the only thing I would recommend. You can use whatever brand you want, but I would, recommend using something that's permanent. So we're going to learn some simple doodles that we can put in our book. So let me come in, get a good spot here so I can show you some very simple things that you don't have to have, like I said, a ton of drawing skills, and this will enhance your pages. Just keep it very simple. So the first thing you're going to do is draw a wiggly line. Very, very, very simple there, okay? And then you're going to add some teardrops. But the teardrops are going to be, instead of a teardrop going upside down, they're going to go, right side up, we're going to put them upside down. Teardrop. And another teardrop. And another teardrop. We'll go down and make a little tiny one here and here. Then we'll skip down here and maybe do a big one with a little one and a big one with a little one. You don't have to be neat about this. These are doodles. They're not supposed to be high art. These are doodles. And we're going to put some little foliage all the way down. We're going to keep it in 3s and 5s. You can see I did 5 here, 3, 3, 5, and I'll do 3 at the bottom, just to keep it odd numbered. And let me kind of raise that up so you can see how simple that was. just a super simple little vine. That was all that is. Now this one's even more simple. We're going to do a tall squiggly line, however you want to squiggle. Right there at the top, you're going to make a dot. Now, the plants have one of two things that they do. A lot of plants, like their stem is here, they may have even placed where the stems come out at the same spot every time, or they can have them staggered like this, okay? So we're going to do one with the connected lines here. And I'm going to go out, out, a dot on the end, a dot on the end. Then I'm going to go out, out, a dot on the end, a dot on the end. It's kind of like making a V. In fact, you could probably just do a V like that. You can just do some V's like that and put a dot on the end. And you have made a little doodle of a quick little vine. Just something super, super quick like that. Okay? Let's try another one. This time we're going to make a little squiggle line this way, a little squiggle line a little taller than that one, and one a little shorter. So they're graduated in size. And then I'm going to take and make that teardrop on the end of each one of these, almost like they're little buds of something about to bloom. And I'm just going to color that in. And it just looks like something is about to bloom there. And how about a little piece of grass? A little squiggle and back. Just follow the line that you made and back. And follow the line you made and back. And you get a little grassy squiggle. Okay. Now let's do another one. And this one, I'm going to go up and just curve it over. Almost a line, just a curved line like that. Then I'm going to make a curved line out like that. And this time I'm going to stagger it. I'm going to make a curved line this way. Another one that way. Another one this way. Another one that way. Another one this way. Another one that way. And another one this way. So just however many of those you want. Now this time we're going to make a dot. But I want you to make the dot bigger. Make it really noticeable like a little berry. So make a bigger berry dot that you're just coloring in. And keep in mind, if you have colored markers or something, you could do this in color. I'm just using black pen to keep it kind of cohesive with what I'm doing in this journal. You could certainly do that. You could also use a white gel pen to add some highlights, and I will show you that. Or you can use white paint. Okay, we've got the big dots in there. Now we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, little hash marks like that. And this looks like little tiny foliage coming off, and you don't even have to really touch it. Just kind of get the impression that that is foliage coming off of, like it's some kind of really frilly little foliage coming off. You don't even have to make it look like a leaf. It can be just that simple. And now we have this nice long grassy piece. Okay, now let's do another little squiggly line. We'll go about halfway up there. And this time we're going to do little leaf shapes where you do a curve one way and a curve the other way. And then we're going to go a curve one way, a curve the other way, and we're going to stagger these. We're not going to connect them together. We're going to stagger them all the way down. It's kind of like making an elongated C and then connecting it. And we're going to go all the way down to the very bottom there. Okay, and there you have a little, if you want to go back in and put a little line in your leaves, you can do that. Just a little center gravity thing for to look like that. You can even go ahead and connect these to the actual thing. And you've made a little botanical with a little stem. Now we're going to make a curved line this way. Let's just make a kind of a big curved line, but leave a little bit of room there at the top where you're practicing, because you're going to need that. And where this is, I'm going to make a dot. And then I'm going to make a curved line out this way, and a curved line this way, and another one, and another one. It's going to start looking like a spider, because I'm going to have about 7 of those lines like that. Okay, it looks a little like a spider, like a little round spider with his legs hanging off. But he has 7 instead of 8 legs, which I guess we could give him 8. There we go. And then what I want you to do is you're going to just make a line down, and you're going to connect that and go back up to make like a leaf, kind of an elongated leaf. And we're going to do a few of those right there. Then we're going to do a shorter one and an even shorter one like that. Going to go down here and do a long spiky one and another long spiky one. Then here we're going to do it like we're going to make a leaf. We're going to go up and up, but we're going to stop right there. Now I want you to take that line down and curve it a little bit, go out, and it's like a crooked triangle. So it just looks like that leaf is bent over. So we're going to go that way, and we're going to go down, and I'm going to make that go out a little bit, and like that. So it looks like the leaves have bent themselves over. You can go back and make your little lines here. And you know, you're wondering, what is she doing? Okay, now this part up here is the fun part. Dot, 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 dot. It's going to look a little like Queen Anne's lace. We're just going to sit here and make some dots. I'm just moving my pencil, you know, moving it around. I'm not even, you know, making them neat flecks or anything like that. I'm just kind of keeping them in a pattern. You want some of this down here to be more clear than this up here. So you can get kind of heavy and make some little patterns around the ends of those little stems where the little thing would blossom from. And you're just going to keep dotting until you get a kind of a pattern. Let's see, I'm going to kind of make myself a little bit of an outline, and then I'm going to fill in and just keep. Let me turn it this way. Maybe you can see me dotting better. Am I in the frame? Yes. Okay. Now, we're going to go back to this one in a minute, because we're going to want to add maybe some white to it to make it highlight. And you can do that with a gel pen or even your white paint. Make sure my pen's writing. You could go back in here and start adding white dots too, and that really highlights this as to what it is. Okay. And then you get this little weedy, oops, turn it right side up, weedy looking, almost like a Queen Anne's lace. Then we'll do another little grassy one where we just kind of do a little wiggle squiggle, little wiggle squiggle, little wiggle squiggle, and you've got some grass. Or you can do grass, you know, just little straight swishes, you know. Okay, let's try another one. Let's make one up like this. And then this one we're going to make a stem out, and we're going to stagger these. Going to do about 4, 6. Maybe do 6 of those like that, kind of staggered, okay? On this one, we're going to do a better, you know, an obvious leaf shape. Something that's obviously a leaf shape. And I'm going to go ahead and put my middle in and do a couple little lines to make it look like a leaf. And then here, I'm just going to draw 3 little circles like this, and then I'm just going to start curly cueing around it, and you're going to make just a little, you know, like a little flower that you would draw when you were in kindergarten, you know, just a little flower, and then you can dot in the center, and there's another little, you know, kind of wildflower. Okay, let's do this one. Whoops, just a long, kind of a little limb. And I'm going to do 3 little stems out of it with a little leaf with just one little line in the middle. And then here, I'm going to dot in a pattern. Okay, I'm gonna make myself a dot pattern that goes almost like a teardrop shape. Okay, can you see that little dot pattern there? And then I'm going to dot that in where I've kind of made myself a little outline. And this is going to look like a little wild, weedy. This is something that looks really good if you do it in purple. It kind of, looks like heather or lavender or something like that. But you can see that that makes it look like a little seed pod head. Now I've got room for one more little one, so I'll do a little curve that way with one stem out and a leaf. And I'm going to do a circle on the end of that. I'm going to color in a dot in the middle. And then from that, I'm just going to put spokes, like I'm crossing it. Like I'm just crossing. Oops, I didn't cross in the right spot there. Well, that's okay. And then I'm going to, just out here on the edge, dot to make it a little weedy, almost like a dandelion or something. You can see that it's got that little weedy look to it. And you can go back and in these little berries add a little highlight mark with your white. You could do this with either paint or with your marker. You could go back in here and draw on top of this one to kind of give it more of a, a flower effect. I could add some white in here so this looks like a dandelion puff. And those are some simple ways to add some doodles to your work. So what I want to do is add, pick a few of these pieces out and add a few doodles on them here and there. Excuse me, I am like congested, sorry. And I'm going to do one of the tall, thinner ones on this one. And I think I'll do the one with the little, and I don't want to fill my book with these. I really just want, this to enhance whatever design I'm doing. And I find it's easier to draw on this before you bind the book. You certainly can do it afterwards, but I always find that stamping and doodling is always, to me, just my personal thing, is it's easier to do it. Oh, hang on just a second. Sorry, I have to stand up. For some reason, my leg decided it was just going to go to sleep. So, started getting pins and needles there. Am I still? I am not even in frame. I am so sorry. I just happened to look up there. I probably need to go back out now that I'm not doing this so close. And I think I'll do the little highlight in my berries here. And you can get a lot of ideas. Just go and Google botanical doodles, go to Pinterest, go, Google whatever, and you will find a lot of little, a lot of kind of doodles that you can do. These are just some of my favorites. I'm going to widen out just a little bit so that while I'm working on this, maybe I won't scoot out too much. And I don't want to do it on all my pages. I want to do it on some of the pages. But I think I will do something on all 3 of these. Maybe not in the same spot. Like I don't want to do all of them on the front. So this one I might do on the inside. And this one I think I'll do on the back. So I'll just continue doodling. And I'm going to doodle these 3 pages. And I'm going to pick a few of these other things to doodle on. So that's your homework. Do your doodles and then come back and I'll show you what I've done. See you in a minute. Okay, I wanted to show you what I just chose to doodle on for my pages. I took the 3 envelopes that were folded, and I have done a doodle on the edge of this one, and I've left the rest of it blank because I'm going to have other imagery and I don't want to overwhelm everything. I did one on the back of that one and one on the front of this one. I used all the same doodles that I showed you. I didn't do anything new. This I used on 2 of the bags that were, I chose, you know, we had 3 bags that are, you know, going to be top loading. I used 2 of those and I did the same doodle, and what I did was the little pod looking little doodle, and I used some of the little grassy stuff at the bottom, combined 2 of the doodles. So I did 2 of those. I did all 3 of these. I did one on the back of here, and I did one inside here, and then I did one on the front of here. And then I took the 4 pages that I did not stitch on, and I doodled on them, and I only did one doodle on each one. One here, didn't do anything on that side. One here, and one here. Just kind of flip back and forth. And then, cool thing is, I got these 2 practice doodle sheets, which I can use these in the book somewhere. So, I did a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I did 12 doodles. And I didn't doodle on any of the cardboard pieces, and I did not doodle on any of these floating tucks. And that's because there is going to be other imagery. So the next thing I want you to do is do your doodling. Then we're going to move into a little bit of paint. So thank you for joining me for this segment, and I will see you around the studio.